Dear friends, good morning on Wednesday the 17th of June. Sometimes people say that they would believe in God if only he gave them more evidence for his existence. For instance, the urbane and witty playwright Noel Coward was once asked why he didn't believe in God, and he replied, "We've never been properly introduced." And other people say that they would believe if God performed some great miracle before their eyes. Well, the conversation that Jesus has next during his Last Supper shows us that even then they still would not believe. Philip has been with Jesus for the best part of 3 years. He has witnessed the greatest miracles the world has ever seen. He's listened to the most wonderful teaching that mankind has ever heard. He has beheld the most beautiful character that has ever graced planet Earth. And still he doesn't believe. "Lord, show us the Father and that'll be enough for us," he pleads. Jesus is understandably somewhat exasperated by his continuing unbelief. "Don't you know me, Philip? Even after I've been among you for such a long time? Anyone who has seen me has seen the Father. Don't you believe that I am in the Father and the Father is in me?" It's easy to be critical of Philip and the other disciples' obtuseness, but we can be so like them at times. Many of us have witnessed Jesus' miracles. We've listened to his teaching. We've experienced his love. We've been filled with his Spirit. We've seen our prayers answered and we've been blessed by him in countless ways. But when sorrow or suffering comes our way, we quickly retreat into practical skepticism. One of the reasons why the disciples were finding it so hard to believe was because of what they were suffering. Jesus' impending departure, his betrayal by one of their own number, the grim forebodings of his death, his prediction of Peter's denials, and his insistence that they couldn't follow where he is going. Everything that they'd lived for and built their lives on is crumbling beneath their feet. No wonder Philip feels that he needs more evidence for Jesus' identity and of his love for his disciples. But Jesus' response is not to perform more miracles or to give Philip the revelation of the Father that he seeks. Instead, he says, "Believe me when I say that I am in the Father and the Father is in me. Believe on the evidence of the miracles themselves." In other words, I've given you all the evidence that you need by my miracles and by my teaching. Look at me rather than the disappointment and fear that you're experiencing. I'm all the evidence that you need. If you want to see the Father, look at me. If you want God to speak to you, listen to me. If you want to see a miracle, look back over the last 3 years. And Jesus says just the same to us. If you want to believe, look at me. Not at the circumstances that you're going through, not at the darkness or fear that you're experiencing, not to the future that you dread. Look at me. You have been properly introduced. God bless you today.